Alright, so I've seen a Smile too, and this is a follow-up to the first movie where this is following a pop star singer that's experiencing the curse of people just smiling at her and with stuff that cannot be explained and much more. And also, I think this was better than the first movie. Only this time, this really dives deep into the lore of what we're like really experiencing, what they're really experimenting with this horror flick, and much more. And so this will be my full and non-spoiler review for the movie. Go over my impressions and my thoughts, and for what I really liked about it, and even like towards the end, what was flawed out as well. And so, if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so miss out on any future bits. But now, let's talk about it. And now, if y'all know Smile, the first movie, I thought it was like a nice experimentation for when a curse was being lashed onto you, and you had to witness all these people smiling at you in like a very creepy way, and that was involving a doctor witnessing an incident with a patient. But now I'm glad that they're doing this continuation, and that is now involving a pop star singer named Sky Riley, who is embarking on an overall tour of performing for her fans, and now, especially now with this curse and now being lashed onto her after experiencing like the death of a friend right in front of her, and now she is now like witnessing the curse, and now like well the anxieties that she's feeling, especially when they deep dive into her character traits. It is really interesting for how this curse is more explained. It goes a deep dive into the lore, and I think they crushed it out of the park with this movie, especially as Parker Finn really dive deep into the curse and what it is really made of, and like it is really outstanding for the way that they brought these things to life. And even though with the first movie, you really get to feel and notice of what that is like, especially with those creepy smiles and like how to get rid of that curse. But even with the second movie, it is so much more intense than I could ever imagine, especially as it has like a brutal opening scene, and the parts of the movie, it sort of can seem like pretty predictable at times. And even Naomi Scott, that plays the pop star singer Sky Riley, I feel like I really enjoyed her performance, especially for what her character was going through, and we get to witness the backstory of her life. And even though like all this like stuff that she like witnessing and like affecting her world tour, and like experiencing so much anxiety, and I feel like it is much more crazier of even though like when like a scare happens, it like appears right there. And even though with like Smile, it had like the most weirdest crazy marketing campaign, especially with like having people smiling in like a very creepy way, and that's like how I felt watching the second installment of this movie. And I feel like it was so much more expansive than it ever was, and even from my big beginning to end, we had to experience that. And even though it was a little bit predictable, but I enjoyed my time. Even well, the crazy stuff that happens in the movie, whenever we see her character seeing someone smiling at her, or we get like the biggest scare ever, like a jump scare. It like appears right there, and man, it like gets me so good, and you don't even know it's there. It just like pops out like out of nowhere, and like trust me, I think this is a much scarier than the first movie. I mean, as much as I enjoyed like from like the first movie and for how that ended, but trust me, you'll definitely like going into this second movie, and like especially as, I mean, this is dealing with a singer that has had like a tragic past, and like having to confront it in order to get rid of it. And I feel like this like went more real deep into that with the second movie. And but even with the third act, and so sort of it does have its flaws, and as I mentioned, it is predictable at times for how like they explain it, and even from when like in the final few minutes rolls around. I mean, it is really something for the way that they handle everything. But like I just like enjoy like all of the moments of suspense. So whenever like someone's like doing the creepy smile and like seeing things that like aren't there, and just freaking people out, and like even with the way that it is affecting a pop star singer that's about to like go on stage, and like for how it's going to affect her fans and her fan base, and like it's like such brutal stuff for everything that has happened to her, and like with like scary stuff happening, and like with terrifying stuff that like cannot be explained properly. I pretty much liked what I saw. I just liked every sense of horror, suspense, and every single type of jump scare. Like especially there are some kills that go down. From what I've seen, it starts off brutal, but then it like ends in the most possible way. That it is probably something that it was just like a reimagining of the first movie, but I feel like they did it way better. But from my perspective, I just really enjoyed the second movie, and I hope that they could continue with this mythology and this curse thing, especially with the creepy smile, and for the way that they adapt this into horror. And I feel like Parker Finn really knocked it out of the park with this installment, and that's what I sort of enjoyed. It's like this was like a great story filled with scares, kills, and like, especially with moments of suspense where like someone is ready to jump scare in your face. And also, I really enjoyed all the creepy parts that they have here. Is that like they really bring ways to really like terrify the heck out of you, and that's what the second movie does. It like really delivers more of what the first one did, and I feel like they really go all the way of trying to scare you and to bring you really scary scenes. Also, one thing that I really appreciate from this film, well, I did enjoy my time, is that like it tries to do a brilliant ways of bringing new things to the table, like with new ideas, while trying to keep it fresh, while also doing a continuation of the demon curse, which is that creepy smile that like pops around like everywhere you go. Like even throughout parts of the movie, you see her character like losing her mind at people like that are wanting to believe her about what she is seeing that is not real. And even with the execution, I thought it was done right, and they completely expand upon of like how it all works. And even though like if she wants to stop this curse, if she wants to end it, but even for how they do it towards the end, I feel like I was like speechless by the time the credits roll, and I feel like they really did a good job. I'm ready for like more installment for what it moves on to next, like with the next person that witnesses this curse, and I feel like they did a really good job, especially with the horror and the scares and the kills, and that's what I pretty much liked. And one last thing that I'll say here is if you enjoyed the first movie, you'll definitely like this new installment, especially if you enjoyed the creepiness and the horror and just the type of scares. And this movie basically delivers everything that you're looking for, and it also like delivers like scenes that like so freaky and just hard to watch, and they're like basically so much scarier, and then like you'll definitely enjoy your time. So I highly recommend that you give this a watch. And yeah, that's all I gotta say, and these are my thoughts. So I enjoyed it all, and I hope you will too. But that's gonna do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and if you're planning on seeing Smile 2, or if you have seen the movie, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Don't like the video and subscribe and turn notifications about future videos. Also follow all my social medias, always are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.